You want to be able to have a duplicatable system. You also probably are like me and you want to have something that is compliant so that as your team starts to grow and duplicate the things that they're learning and growing with, they're being taught the right way. They're not flashing checks all over the internet. They're not putting our company at risk, that kind of a thing. And that's what we hope to do, is create an environment where you can have a third-party validation by being right here with us, each of us helping to close each other's sales, but not getting the company in jeopardy. So what does that mean? What's third-party validation? You can say, I love this water, I love this business, and I just can't seem to close people. And I can tell you probably the reason is you have not given sufficient third-party validation. When I got started, everything was about introducing them to a tool, something that could help them be educated, help them learn. When I remember some of my very first meetings, we would go to the community center here in a small town in Oklahoma. And I'm not kidding, but I was good at inviting and getting the people there. But what I was really happy about is that while the people were there, they would go over and talk to this person and that person, and they would literally sell the machine for me, sell them on the business. And that's where I learned that third-party validation works. So over the past 16 years, I've tried different strategies for marketing. Currently, I own a 3,200 square, I don't own it, I lease a 3,200 square foot water training center store. And this is the 5th store that I have owned and operated. And I've done it all different ways. I've done the business out of my home, where people come to my kitchen counter, sitting down, watching the demonstration. I've done it in community centers. I've done it in hotel rooms. I've done it all over the world, literally. And quite frankly, I started seeing what was going on online back in probably about 2015. In 2015, I became a -4 with Enagic, and it was an exciting time. And I remember driving down the road thinking, how could my life get any better? I mean, Enagic's amazing. My team is amazing. I love my life. Literally, I had that happen to me like 3 times that I distinctly remember looking into the sunset or sunrise, driving my car in the morning. I love to drive and listen to audios or go for a walk or ride my bike, whatever I'm doing. I like to get out of the house. And I just remember 3 distinct times thinking, and it filled me through my whole spirit that I had this amazing life and that I wanted other people to have it too. And in that season of my life, a few months down the road, and actually just a few days after I remember feeling that, I got a phone call while I was sitting in a parking lot with my husband on our anniversary. And the phone call let me know that my little brother had taken his own life. And I went from amazing to completely devastated. And so I know what it's like to have exhilarating excitement and to have devastation in my life. And so each and every one of you are coming from different places, and you all have stories and things in your heart that, you know, you got to get past. So why I tell you that is that I was dealing with the grief and recovery of that and walking through that while I was building a custom home. Thank goodness for the distraction. It was great. But during that time, there started to be these online systems pop up. And they were doing all sorts of things that were non-compliant and causing a lot of us to just be absolutely upset and enraged, quite frankly. We wanted a compliance department to take care of it. And what happened was it kept going. They tweaked some things, they put things behind the scenes, and they grew while I was still telling myself the story that eMagic needs to take care of that, instead of getting past the story and jumping on in. And so some of you on here have been with eMagic for quite some time, and you have that same story or some type of a story around online marketing. So I encourage you today to really sit with that and figure out what it is. What is your story? What's holding you back? And what do you need to move forward? When I decided that I could go ahead and move forward, I started investing in training. I have grown immensely, and I am ready to take this system on. And there will be so many things that will develop through this. And I'm just super excited about what's coming. And I just really want you to know that to build an extraordinary life, you have to come from a place of making an extraordinary decision to get out of your comfort zone just a little bit and start taking action. So what does that mean when it comes to online marketing? You know, so many people on the call tonight, and you're all coming from different experience levels, okay? Now, some of you might have to get just a little bit uncomfortable. And I know I've been in that spot, and I've tried to get out of the uncomfortable and just try and just put myself out there more. What happened? It grew my followers by thousands by being a little bit more uncomfortable. So let's talk about that. How many of you are out there worried about what people might think if you post things on social media? Organic growth will come from posting and also by commenting on people's stuff. People want to be seen, they want to be acknowledged. They're on social media because they want a community. They want friends. And so where we used to do our business all from, you know, meeting someone at a grocery store or meeting someone in a meeting, meeting someone at our kids' school, wherever we were, we need to take that online and meet people where they are in groups and all the things that have to do with social media. And right now we're talking mostly about Facebook, but you can also do Instagram. You can do it anywhere you're at, because the majority of people also have a Facebook account. And so you've got to get more social. And for some people, that means you're going to have to start pushing the like button on people's posts, because that will start engaging the algorithm. You'll start seeing those people's posts more. You'll become friends with them. And I'm really wanting to encourage you to be friends with people who are not eMagic distributors. I know everybody likes to hang out. I mean, I love a post when I see it has something to do with Kangen water. My radar goes up and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. That's really fun. But in actuality, what I've been taught and what I've been learning is we don't want to put that stuff out there. You don't want everybody knowing that you are with XYZ company, eMagic, because you want them to be curious enough to ask you. And you just drip it in a little bit at a time. So if any of you followed me, you're probably wondering why she never talks about eMagic. Because I'm having those conversations behind closed doors. I'm having them in the private message, you know, thank you for following me. It's so great to meet you. Do you keep your business options open? You know, just like you would in day-to-day life. So what does that look like for you? What are your stories around being more active on social media? What is it about that? Are you afraid to post pictures of yourself? Are you afraid that people might think something? You have to decide if you want to build an extraordinary life. You have to make extraordinary changes sometimes. You need to get over some of that. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that. Are you someone who is extremely perfectionistic and you've got to spend 2 hours creating a post before you can ever post it? Karen, you know what? You threw up some reels and we watched them, and honestly, it was so much fun because I think you ended up getting more followers. You've got quite a few followers because you decided to jump out there and put out a few reels. What's a reel? Well, when we get through with this call, you can go into your Facebook, pretend like you're making a post, and you're going to see the reel option. Reel is where you upload any kind of video. And that's where it's at right now. It's short video formats are really strong. Now, what about these stories are serving you? If you want to keep them, it will keep you from growing. So if you're on this call tonight, you want to grow. You want to attract people to you. And so, you know, there's all different ways to do that. And like I said, the training that we took, our mentor that we have, I think Paul has a link to that. You know, you can reach out to him and he'll share you that if you're a leader in the space and you're ready to take that kind of thing on. But some of you are just ready to, or need to get ready to just be more social. So it's a new season of growth. Be okay with making new friends. Seek out new friends. What does it mean to post organically? That means you post from your Facebook page. I have a lot of friends that I'll go to check out their page and they haven't posted anything in months. So the way I try to do something every day is I think a meaningful post, something written with a picture of some kind that goes along with the post, some kind of a video, either a real live video or just short video format. Video's king in this space. And then post to your stories. Now, don't be afraid that people might say, oh my gosh, Kyle's showing up way more often than I'm used to seeing him. I don't know if I want to see Kyle this much. Who cares? They aren't thinking about you. They're doing their thing. And so I really want you to take this home with you tonight. You know, when you get a family picture taken and it comes back and everybody's looking at the picture, Who do you look for on that picture? Yourself. You are not looking to see if grandma has her hose pulled up, or this, this guy over here, whether his pants are buttoned right. You don't look at that. You look at yourself. So I want to encourage you that, people appreciate having something to look at when they're on the scroll. And so you can provide value to people, give them something to look at and say, hey, I'm still around, and hey, I've got some really cool things that I do. And we'll talk more about that. We actually have a couple things that we'll introduce later down the road that will really help you with all of that. But this is a place for third-party validation. What we're setting up here is a system, and I am just super excited because, we had planned on doing 2 groups, one for business and one for health from the beginning, to talk about more about the water, more about the business, 2 spots. And we kind of thought we'd start one and then open the other one. But, we decided we're going to build them side by side. So let me go ahead and share my screen tonight, and I will show you. Let's see, that's not far enough over so that I can see it. Share the screen and go over to Facebook. This is the health group. Can everybody see that? Yes?
We're good.
Okay, so this is the health group. As you can see, it looks similar to the affiliate system that we've been looking at. Online health system, impact your health. So the reason it doesn't say Kangen water in it is because we want people to get the link and say, oh, she must be wanting to talk about something healthy. And we want them to go ahead and join the group when you add them into the group. And this will happen as soon as we get this thing ready to roll, hopefully before September 15th, but not until then if it's not quite ready. But anyway, I'm so excited about what's going to take place here. So I'm going to turn some time over now to Dr. Paul.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I have had a fun, really busy day. I literally ate this morning, and I have been sitting here almost since then, except for a couple of restroom breaks. And I'm looking over here yet. You haven't seen it. I interviewed 2 people today. You guys volunteered to help make this exciting. And what I learned in the process was good for me too. Like I said, we're all helping each other here. And Michelle talked about third-party validation. And we had the discussion. Lucy Gomez finished the video, and I also interviewed Cynthia Halverson. And so I haven't, we're putting together videos. I'm going to show you a little bit. Yes.
So just make sure can we go ahead and there's some people on here that have never been on with us before. So the vision of this is that we are all a community. We're brand newbies to I'm a -4. So everything in between, right? And we want to treat this community like everybody has value to add. Okay? I don't care what rank anybody is, because quite frankly, our newbies are more exciting to listen to than hear our old stories.
That's exactly what Lucy did. I'm telling you, that's exactly what Lucy did. And you talked about third-party validation, Michelle. And think about it. Any of you who are parents, you tried to tell your kids and teach them certain things, and it just didn't get in their noggin. until they went to their friend's house, and either their friend or their friend's mom told them the same darn thing you've been telling them, and they go, oh, I get it, right? That's what we're talking about. So you will want, before I add the other things out, let me just show you what we did today. Okay, so I got on Zoom with Lucy, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're not going to watch the whole thing because it's 18 minutes long. Let me get this thing up over here. Hang on. Share. You're going to see my background as I bring this on. Okay, so this is she scrub. I'm going to scrub this thing for you. We added clips to it. Tell me if you can. Schreider, and I am a retired dentist, and I get. Did we lose you? Seems like I lost all the. You're muted. Can you hear it okay, Michelle?
Go ahead and try it again. I couldn't hear it.
Okay, let me see. Let me, before I make it big screen. The privilege of
Okay, it just needs to be up louder.
Okay. Okay, so let me just show you. Like I said, you can see that we did. This is called karaoke style captions, and so people can read what we're all generated by AI. And so it's not perfect. There's some typos and some little things like that, but I went through and corrected so rather than King Kong or King Water or whatever else that AI came up with. So let me just show you the first little bit of it. I'm gonna get in where we talk. Let Lucy doing some talking. Where were you at in life when you first heard about it?
So I was living actually in Cape Coral at the time, and I owned the CBD with my real estate, of course. And I decided to open a store just about 4 years ago, so I can help people feel better naturally, and just look into different options.
Okay, so like I said, this is 18 and a half minutes long. I want to show you what we did with that. One of the things you want if you're looking for third party validation is you want Lucy. The reason is Lucy's excited. Let me see, Lucy was in here in 2022, and she uses this water for everything. And we talked about 2.5 and 11.5 and 6.0 and doing the laundry and the disinfecting. And we talked about all this stuff, and she's truly pumped. We'll put this up so you can use it and you can tag your people in it. Yes, Michelle.
Yep. And the vision is, imagine if you're talking to somebody who also has a similar story as Lucy. Now, with that said, you guys all have the opportunity to be interviewed. You are founding members, and we'll be adding new stuff all the time. And if you've been a part of my large Facebook group with all the files and the things that are going on there, you are going to have file after file of incredible things going on in this group. So an ad tag message group, how it works is once we get this rolling, you will add your friend who's been talking to you about the water or the business into whatever door they fit. So if you've been talking water, you're going to put them in online health system. They're going to learn a little bit more about the water. And oh, by the way, maybe you'd like to learn a little bit about the business too. I can send you that link separately. But you'll be able to tag them in these different videos and then send them messages, third party. It's going to be phenomenal. This looks great, Paul.
So here's what guys. Here's what I wanted to show you that we did, because we got talking about the water and we didn't clearly explain to the audience that what we were talking about. What does 6.0 water mean? So watch the top.
Came and told me she had a headache, and I
said, above well, this.
Some 11 point, and I'm
pretty so we've got the little
is going to disappear. So 11. She looked at me and rolled her eyes like, oh boy, there she
So we could go through and make sure people understand what the heck we're referring to. So, like I said, Lucy was awesome. She had a great personality and great story. And then I interviewed Cynthia, who had an equally but great attitude. And I said to both of them, I said, you're perceived, Lucy's relatively new within a year, less than a year, I think, not quite. And Cynthia has been around for several years and had a store herself. And so it's a different feel. But I said to both of them, I said, you're going to be perceived as a leader. If you tag a group chat where Michelle Raley is like, I know Michelle, she's a buddy of mine. We can get you on a chat with her, right? That's the whole point of these things. Third party validation, get your kids, friends, parents to do the talking for you, so to speak. And we
Now,
talked about.
no,
Go ahead.
not with everybody. You're gonna have your mentor that's in Enagic. Your upline will be around, and hopefully they're part of this community as well. You'll have buddies that you're going to meet within the group that you can say, hey, I want you to talk to Dr. Paul. I want you to talk to Lucy. I want you to talk to Andrea. I want you to talk to Lisa. I want you to talk to Karen. And we're going to work this as a community. Many hands make light work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that one of the things that why I say Lucy was such a good starter on this was I asked her the questions. I'm asking questions to try and pick what people are thinking. And so I said, did you have any trouble connecting your machine when you got that? And she's like, and
You're breaking up. We're missing your words. I don't know.
Sorry about that. It's been an interesting day with the internet. I'm hardwired into the internet fast, but I'm cut out. And I had to do that with this video. The beauty of this technique we used is that and I could fill in the words down here so we can still see the conversation. Can you still hear me okay, Michelle? We're good? Okay. One of the things she said, and her wording was perfect for what you want to hear. I said, but if your husband hadn't been a handyman, did you feel like there was somebody you could go to? And she goes, oh, yeah, I could talk to my thousands of people that I could reach around the country and get the answers to all that. I said, so and you understand, people want to hear that. They want to be part of a cause. And so Lucy was really, really good at that. And this is the only one I've had time. This takes a couple, 2-3 hours to edit this video besides doing the interview. We paused on not the great view. Let's get a better. There we go. Happy faces. And then me with an ugly face. Okay. You know how video is. You pause it wherever you pause. So it's interesting that I've been reading a book called Mindset, the new psychology of success or something by Professor Carol Dweck. And one of the things she said by research was that people, they tested people for achieving goals, right? People set a goal. I must talk to the universe. I'm going to talk to God. It's a thing. And she said, people wishing it and people vowing it, right? I vow I will lose the weight. I vow I will do. She says, the success really came, we could do it by research over and over, when people put together a plan and they put together a system that helped them to achieve the things they wanted to achieve. And that's literally what we're doing here, which is why we called them systems. And so we're putting it together. We bought the land and so we're doing it really quick. I want to thank all of you who volunteered. I kind of did this. I don't know how much, and I kind of said, I want to get something in this room to show you guys tonight. And so I blasted out a little text to some of the volunteers. I got overwhelmed. I was multitasking like Michelle does, and I'm a dude. I don't multitask that well. And
you
I
did
told
great.
that to her. What's that?
You did great. I don't know why we're hearing about every other word, but it's.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wish I could make the internet work faster.
It's okay. So let's go ahead and, is this all we're gonna share on the screen?
That's all for now, but I wanted to talk about the volunteers a little bit.
Okay,
I want to show you something that I did. We have now 5 more of you came in since I made this thing. Let me bring it over on this screen. Okay, so this is the first 27 people who volunteered, and I had to lay it out so I could make sense of it. All right, so these are the people I started texting today that agreed to be interviewers. I've left their name off the screen here on purpose. And several of you have said you will post weekly. Can you still hear me okay, Michelle? I'm worried about it now.
yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you now.
All right, good. So we need to get together. Anybody can post anytime. What we're looking for with the post weekly is somebody who will say, every Tuesday, I will post 2 things into the group. And that's your commitment to the rest of the group. And so we'll organize it, and I will have it automated to send you a text on Tuesday morning, said, hey, thanks for doing this thing. Post your things today. We're looking forward to seeing what you've got. That's what that's about. So nobody is overworked. And that's once a week. But you can go post anytime. And so I'm going to continue to collect these. I have got, I think, about 7 other interviews scheduled up in the next week or 2 and rising. And so if you want to be seen and you want to be and leaders in this community, you will be interviewed, and you will you know what it's like. You
Don't
want to
stress out about it. You know
Yeah.
what? Paul's really easy to work with, and I may do some of them myself. You just never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said,
But
this is just the distribution of labor right now. I'm
yeah,
just doing them because Michelle's doing her.
other stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, don't worry. Really, it's just about telling your story in a way that's compliant and that gets the message across so that we can actually share those. So when I got started with the magic, what I would do is I would send little audio clips of people's stories. And if somebody had this going on, I would send them this story. You will know as you start seeing some of these things, you know, even if it's just a written post, as people post different things about water or about business and how it works, you will know, hey, that would really be good for Joe to look at. Oh yeah, Susie really needs to see this person's story. And I want you just to really take this on and to understand that there are literally billions of people on Facebook alone. There's another multi-billions over on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. They're everywhere. And we do not have to compete with each other. There are enough people for all of us. And I just want you to realize that. And so if we will really help one another, everyone will achieve more. And that's my heart. You know, I'm not doing this for the money. You know, I didn't set this up on a monthly charge. And the reason being is, from my 8-figure mentor, this is the most duplicatable way to do it. If I have a prospect that I meet at my store, and hopefully I don't have a store in the next, you know, I've got a 2-year lease that's left on my store, and I want to be 100,000% online. But the point is, I could not take my girl that I met at the store and say, hey, I want you to sign up for this system that charges you a monthly fee so that you can learn about the water. and that you can do the business. You have to have this expense too. And oh, by the way, this expense and this expense. So by creating this free community, it will be the most duplicatable thing we can do. And many hands make light work. There are some of you, I mean, I'm not going to say your name out loud because honestly, you can decide if you want to be a volunteer and help or not. But some of you are really good at graphics and making things look beautiful. I do not want this the Michelle Raley show. I don't want all the work. I don't want that. I want to be part of a community too. I mean, don't we all just want to be a part of something? And that's where it's at. I mean, I can't do this in the big Facebook group that we already have because it just kind of got taken over with all kinds of just people that have different things that they're doing, right? And we got a lot of questions from people as distributors have things that they need answered that they don't really want the prospects to see. So this is going to be the store, the online store, where everything's positive and uplifting, and you know, we want people to become a part of Enagic with us. I think it's going to be so much fun as we see it develop and watch you guys have success, and we'll be able to celebrate those successes as well. I'm sure we'll probably have another group that's just the training group. But that's not this week.
Not yet.
Oh. Can we drop that link, or how do should I go ahead?
I dropped in the chat is the link to sign up. And I also wanted to tell you, we've made it number, and when you volunteer for that,
you made it what?
I'm sorry. I've made the link. The link's in the chat. Can you all see that for signing up?
To be a part of the interviews and all of that.
Right. So we appreciate those of you who have done it. What I made mandatory is your phone number. We're going to, yeah, I'm paused. I can see you pausing as well. It's not working so well tonight. Sorry about that. I don't control the internet. But and I will contact you and tell you, hey, it's me. And then you'll have mine. Mark me as a contact in your phone so we can get on with doing this background work. So somebody, you want to answer that one, Michelle, for Lisa?
Sure. What type of posts are we looking for? The same type of posts that if you were operating a Kangen Water Facebook page and you were, you know, these are the kinds of things that we shouldn't be putting on our Facebook page unless it's a specific business page. Because what happens is if you show up in front of your friends and you're every day, you're Kangen Water, eventually the only friends you really have are Kangen Water distributors. Believe me, I've been there. You need to clean up your Facebooks. You need to, you know, clean it up. I mean, some of those posts need to be made private, and, you know, just make it more where people will learn to ask you, what do you do? You know, you can put little hints and things like that, and we'll start doing more of that in my posts, and you can kind of watch how I'm going to do that too. But anything that, you know, to answer Lisa's questions, I mean, we used to post that kind of stuff on the Facebook all the time. So what does it look like? Anything that deals with water and why, you know, it's for the water and health group. Business would be more like, I don't know how that's going to look exactly. I think that's going to evolve. You know, just how Enagic is so amazing. And, oh, by the way, I got this text from so-and-so today, and she's got this. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do there. It will evolve on the business side for sure.
So
Everyone
we've
wants to
got
talk about
we've
that.
got questions in the chat, but I made it so you can unmute yourself. Keep yourself muted if you're not speaking, but I made it so you can unmute yourself and ask your questions verbally now.
Dean also asked, how do you set up a Facebook page? Well, pretty much everybody has a personal profile. And quite frankly, that's what you need. Facebook business pages are kind of getting, you don't necessarily need that as much anymore. People are doing everything from their personal profile. But if you want to have a business page, you can do that too. But my business page almost looks just like my personal page. Dean, what was your question?
Yeah, you did. You said that, the previous statement that you said you don't want to do all your stuff on your personal page because then you'll end up having no business friends.
Right.
So shouldn't you have a business
Post it
page?
in the group. Post it in the group and invite your friends to come into the group. And then you tag
Okay.
them. You know, that's why the group's going to be, for an interested party, they're going to be like, oh, you invited me to the candy store.
So I invite them to your group.
Yeah, you're going to invite them into this group here. This, like what we just showed you. Online health system. Let me show it to you again. See, that would be for the water right there. You're going to invite them there. Right now, there are 2 lovely members. Just like last week, we had 2 lovely members in there. If you'll look right here at the top, what is that called?
The address line.
The address line. It's just facebook.com/groups/online health system. So let me highlight that. And I can drop it over here in the chat. How about that? I'm getting so handy. There you go. So just click on that, go over there and join that group as well. So that we can start populating both places. I'm sure that place will get way more engagement because people have a lot of stuff on the water.
Any other questions?
So when you did the interviews, Paul, today, you had them talk about the business and the water.
We did not have time to get to the business stuff today. Those are coming, and Lucy and the others know it. It takes a lot more time than you think it does, and we want to focus it, but we want to connect them. Like I said, Lucy brought up an opportunity. She said at the end, I want to say one more thing. You can save a ton of money. I have way less budget than I used to have because I bought this machine. It pays for itself. And so I got on and said, and if you want to hear about that, get with the person who sent you here and have them show you how that works. And so we link them across for those who came in just one door.
And I love that because honestly, people come in either one door or the other. I mean, I really perked up when my mom told me that people were making a lot of money with this water thing. And so for me, the very first place I would have wanted to be taken was to the online affiliate system.
Me too. Me too.
Because I came in because of the business. I mean, I loved that the water worked. I thought it was fantastic. But the business is what really caught my attention because we were drowning in debt. We were suffering. We were really struggling. So I'm just really excited about all the things that we can do as a community. The people who are struggling to pay their rent, that need to add a water machine into their facilities to help supplement their income and to grow it. I mean, my insurance agent came in the other day and he's like, you could tell the wheels were just going. Because listen, physical, financial, and mental health, we all need it. And so even though the majority of Kangen water distributors, because of the way we marketed with a gallon at a time, that's how people came into my business and my team's business. what's happening in eNagic is a lot of the online businesses, they've never tried the water before they buy their system. And that's what's happening now with what's going on online. It's because it shows that we can take this anywhere, and you're never going to run out of people. Who else on here would like to just have a chat and tell me what you think, how you're feeling about everything? Anybody? Because it is community.
This is Rosalina from Boston. So no, I think all of this sounds really exciting. I think the one, okay, so I have two things I wanted to say. Well, one was a question, the other was just, I think, a concern. But I guess I'm definitely concerned about the compliance. Like, I know that we have to be really careful. Like, I know this is a private group for like, it's a
Right.
private group unless we invite someone to the group. That's you know, and I guess you'll accept the people that we invite them to the group, right? Like, you'll accept them into
They'll
the
have
group. So
questions they have to answer. Who invited you?
right.
And things like that.
So I guess the only thing is like the compliance. Like, I'm thinking, like, you know, just because I know we have to be really careful how we present the water, like not making any health claims and
Right.
income claims and things like that. So that's just one comment. Like, I just feel like that's just a concern for me. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how
Well, I
this is
can
all.
tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
There are now 2 administrators, which is Paul and I. I have been with this company for 16 years, and I am absolutely committed to it being here for another 16 beyond that. So I'm all about compliance and
Yeah.
keeping the group safe.
Yeah.
We also have asked for some volunteers for moderators. Those people will be chosen on the ability to do that as well. The posts will have to be pre-approved. So you make the post and it sits there until one of us gets our eyes on it and says, yep, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. So
Somebody
that's great.
posts a post that says, I cured cancer.
Yeah, right.
We can't do that, unfortunately.
No.
I mean, first of all, it's not socially responsible.
Yeah.
Everybody's body's different, and it's just, nothing cures, heals, that sort of thing.
Right.
But, you can give an effective testimony, a heartfelt testimony that the water has really changed your life without saying that. And so we'll give you more instruction on that on our Monday night meeting coming up. So
Great. Awesome.
thank you though for that. That's definitely a concern that people might feel. Although I wish more people in eNagic would feel that way. Well, it's just like the whole thing is everybody needs, like a checkbox when they enter eNagic. They need to be able to know what to do. They need direction. And this will be a place where they will get that. And of course, you do the things with your team that you've always done. This is just an extra tool to add to it that will really fuel the business. It's just gonna take the guesswork out of a lot of it. Instead of, well, what video do I send? The video, there'll be certain videos that are mandatory that you check, tag people in. It's a welcome video and a business video in the business group, a welcome video and a water video in the water group. Those will be the first things you tag them in. And then it'll just go on from there. Things that you think your prospect would find interest in, tag them again in something. But remember, they're a part of the group. So every time something new gets brought up, they're going to see it. And that's the beauty of it. they'll be able to scroll through and watch and listen to anything they want to.
So did y'all see my note that I posted in there? Michelle talked about having different stories. You know, oh, this person would like that story. And she collected all these audio stories. So what I'm going to do before I get to bed tonight is I'm going to post Lucy's interview in the new online health system. So that means you need to get in there. That means you need to join it and then watch, because over the next few days, there's going to be several of those things starting to pop up in there. And it's very, you know, we've all heard the testimonials. We've been around. But it's important to listen to them and make notes about them. Oh, yeah, she said that. He said that. So you know who to tag your friends with after they've seen the main videos that Michelle just talked about.
Mm-hmm. And Paul has guided them through what they can say and what they can't say. So.
Yep,
You know,
I can edit it, and I did chop.
Their own personal story. And so it's just good. I mean, anytime you have an event, which I think, you know, bringing them to this is an event, because quite frankly, people do not want to go to meetings. After the pandemic, everything's online. They shop online. They want to watch things online. They don't want to go to a meeting. I close most of my people that they never go to a meeting. So it's just going to be no different than what we do now. Instead of just sending them just an open link, you're going to send them into a community where they can learn and grow. And it's a safe community, because being a part of it, you'll agree to assist everyone. You know, there's no poaching and that sort of thing in the group, because poachers get ratted out really fast. You wouldn't last. So anyway, and there's just an abundance mindset here. There's so many people in this world.
In fact, I forgot, I didn't get that. I had that on my mental to-do list. I'm going to make a Google form with a suggestion box, so you don't have to throw it out there for the whole world to see. It can be private with us. It'll be just like a sign-up form. I'll give you the link. I'll put it out there. That it'll just be a big box. You can type in whatever you want, and that way it comes just to us, and you don't have to worry about what your neighbors are thinking or anything else. And we will hear everybody. So I'll get that built. In fact, I'll do that tonight before I go to bed too.
I'm just super excited for everybody to grow here, and just go back to the original thought that I said. Building an extraordinary life requires it comes from making extraordinary decisions to actually do something about it. And it's time to grow. So I'm super excited for everybody. And, let's just get your running buddies, your team members in the groups as well. And we'll just start working one day at a time with each other. Definitely get on the sign-up sheet if you're interested in being in that volunteer group. So thank you all.